Welcome into Hawk Talk, ladies and gentlemen. As the season has come to the end for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, they fall 8-2 in Game 2 between the Falmouth Commodores here at McKeon Park. Jack Keffer and Gabe Sustick here going over a little bit, not even just about the game, Jack, but just the season for Hyannis. I mean, we can continue to just talk about the struggles that this team has going beginning and the end of the season, but in the middle of the season, this was a great team to go and see. Garrett Cave, who had pitching, all the pitching staff was working well, team was hitting, and they really just found a way to get things going, which helped get them to this playoffs in the first place.
You take out the losing streaks, this team is 17-12, and they played great baseball in the middle of the stretch. I mean, but for me, you know, like a successful summer, it's not even about the record. It's not about how far this team gets in the playoffs, but the guys on the team. Did they improve? Did they get better? Did they go back better baseball players? The answer is yes. I mean, how could they not be? Even guys who struggled up here are going back better baseball players. And with coaching from Ron Polk and Ray Korn, who are teaching valuable lessons that guys at a college level, they don't get every day, you know? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to learn and get better. And Gabe, it was a successful season in that aspect, if anything.
Meanwhile, you can talk about learning. Ray Korn, he taught us a thing or two. Aside from just the pitchers and the batters of everything, he has been really just a wealth of information to gain from, and I think Hyannis will greatly gain from that as they go later on when he returns next year.
Yeah, and you know, Gassman is a great manager as well as a player's manager, and he's going to, you know, play to the needs of these guys on his team, and that goes a long way. And like you said, I mean, Korn just did so much for this team, and he did so much for everybody, really. And, you know, in his first year as the pitching coach up here on Cape Cod, it's going to be many more years of great pitching for Hyannis and great pitching coaching for them as well. I'm excited to see what can happen in the future. And Ray Korn, I think it starts and ends with him and his relationship with Ron Polk as well, the father of SEC baseball. I mean, the wealth of knowledge. You talk about a textbook. He's an encyclopedia on the game of baseball. So, you know, I don't think that you can go wrong here at all. You also have Austin Hart, Sean Manfredo, who's just, what a guy. I mean, the players love him, and he's so relatable in many ways. Stowers, of course, and Gassman. It's a great crew of coaches, and the one thing that doesn't change is that staff, and I think that you can't lose with that staff.
He came into the season seeing the large amount of infield depth that this team had. Of course, they were a little bit dwindled by the end of the season, but they came in with a lot of great guys. Ford Proctor and Zach Rutherford really led the charge. Jordan Rogers as well until he moved out into left field. But the infield, and along with Cody Henry as well, he played first base for the entire season here on Cape. Really just a great job by all of them and how they were able to play every day, especially Rutherford and Proctor. I mean, switching between second and short basically every day can be a tough task. There's two different positions in how you field.
Yeah, and then you look at Busby and Hudgens as well. I mean, they both played every single day, and Busby was dealing with injuries. So was Jordan Rogers, and he played every single day. He played through every inning, never came out. And then Chris Hudgens just got beat up there behind the plate. Usually you see two guys rotate on and off. Never happened. Chris Hudgens was always the go-to guy behind the plate. And, you know, it's unfortunate that this team had so many injuries to deal with and so many players that had to leave and new faces that came in that weren't used to the whole Cape season. So I think that contributed a lot to how this team finished, and how this team started as well, because they didn't have their core group of guys. But you know what? It is what it is, and these guys had a great year, and they really enjoyed themselves too.
The pitching staff also for Hyannis, part of it was spectacular, and it also ended up being one of their biggest Achilles heels. You lose 3 stars, 1, 2, 3 in a row, Soroller, Eubanks, and Barnes, but really all of them were helpful in Hyannis getting to where they are. Soroller, I know he had that one Brewster game, but he was great. Eubanks was great for the starts that he has, and Charlie Barnes proved useful in that final game against Harwich that he pitched. Just a spectacular game by him and the starting pitchers staff. Even John Gavin coming in, just the starters, Andrew Gonzalez as well, just everyone pulling their weight and having to do more than probably asked for once the 3 of those guys left.
You know, Gonzalez was here from day one. He started day one, and he was fantastic, and he kind of led the charge of the pitching staff when there were variables. Gonzalez was always the guy, and you knew that he was going to be scheduled for that start. You know, John Gavin also pitched fantastic, and Justin Lewis stepped up when he could. And, you know, the talk of the first half of the season for this team was the bullpen. And unfortunately, Tyler Stevens, he had to leave early, but he had Garrett Cave, Matt Naylor, James Harrington, and they were lights out. And, even the guys who didn't see as much time until the later innings in Lucas Gilbreth and Tristan Barlow, they got so much better. And we saw it in this final game. They pitched very well to a different degree. And that's, credit to Ray Korn for helping them figure it out. But, at this level, it's on them. They have to go out and execute, and they did it. And they got better as the season progressed.
And Jack, I know we talked about a lot of guys, and there's different ways we can end it, but I feel like the best way of ending it is with Garrett Cave. I think he has been, with everything that has happened on here, good and bad story-wise, I think he has been the best story that you can grab out of this for Hyannis. From what this team was able to do, you talk about the All-Star game, Rutherford winning the MVP, Cameron Estee winning the home run derby, and then what Garrett Cave was able to do in that game, striking out the side. Everything went in their favor in that All-Star game. But I think in the end, that was the big thing that you look for, especially from where he came from day one in that Bourne game and to what he became now, what he left as, and what his potential is leaving. The potential is great for everyone, but you saw the complete evolution of what Garrett Cave became up here on Cape.
And, the biggest thing that he took away from Cape Cod is confidence. That guy, when he first stepped on the mound against Bourne, you and I looked at each other and said, he is in between the ears right now. He's rattled. And he comes out the most confident pitcher, the most confident player on this Hyannis team, and that's what you get when you can face the best hitting up, in college baseball and mow down guys. He had 40 strikeouts in 22 innings. Are you kidding me? So Garrett Cave, like he closed his games, he closes out our Hawk Talk here, and he had such a wonderful season. It was great to see him progress as a player.
We'd like to thank him and all of the players here for Hyannis this season. All of them played a part one way or another to help them get to this point here that we sit right now. Even though it was a struggle beginning and at the end, they all proved to show their hearts when it needed to be to get them to this point as well. We also like to give some extra thanks. We already mentioned, we thank again Luca Valentino. He has been spectacular for us for this entire season. I'd like to thank Nicole Hansen, our field reporter, and our camera duty for a lot of the time. She has been great with everything that she's done. She even got us this mic flag, too.
Yeah,
she helped get that, put the stickers on. Just a fantastic job by her. The Pfeiffers as well for giving us the opportunity, along with everyone in the management staff for Hyannis, just giving us John Cabral as well.
John Cabral and Tim. And you got to go with Tim, the guys in the PA booth.
John Cabral always helping us out back at home for what we need to know, what's an error, what's not, what's a hit, and everything that goes on. I'd like to thank you, Jack, once again for everything that we've done this summer. It's been a great job. And lastly, though, we'd like to thank all of you, the viewers and the listeners who've been with us from the very beginning. We'd like to thank you all for watching us and viewing us every day and night here on the Hawk Talks. We hope you enjoyed it all here as we are signing off for the final time. For Jack Keffer, I'm Gabe Sustick. That has been it for Hawk Talk in the 2016 Cape Cod Baseball League season.